very unique giftings and capabilities. So when they don't have an understanding of who they are authentically, then they're trying to go ahead and be what they are not. And here comes the confusion.
Uh-oh. Man, so there we go, man. Okay, we live on the IG, the Facebook, the YouTube. Hey, man, happy Monday, everybody out there. You were tuned in to episode 48 of Technically Speaking, where we are giving you news
that you can use. Baby, you know how we do.
Yes, sir. Hey, tonight's a special night, bruh.
Yeah.
What are we celebrating tonight?
Our 1 year anniversary of Technically Speaking.
1 year, man. Hey, man, you know what? Man, it's been a good year, man. Bobbi couldn't make it tonight, but hey, much love out to Bobbi, man. You got the host. I'm Geronimo, your co-host, and then we got your host, Corey Giovanni.
You already know what it is. It's your main man with the game plan.
Yes, sir. Yes. Look, man, I'm this month we celebrate our 1 year anniversary of Technically Speaking, man, and it was really I gotta give my love to you and respect, Corey, because this was pretty much your brainchild, man. I was just hopping on, just talking some stuff about some tech news, man, and you took it and flipped it to what it is right now, man. So I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you too, man. Look, here's the thing, man. We, you know what I'm saying? We've been rocking for about 20 some odd years, you know what I'm saying?
More than that.
Yeah.
At least 30.
30, yeah.
We're at least 30 years right now.
Yeah, you're right, because of the fact that we graduated 25 years ago, and we've been knowing each other since the beginning of high school. Man,
we had you in freshman English. Miss Thurman.
Bro, I can't remember.
Miss Thurman. Yeah.
Okay. Miss Thurman.
Oh, yeah.
But shoot, man, I can say this, bro. And this is for anybody. When you find good people, keep them in your life. Period.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because good people makes you good.
Yeah,
and
man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people in there in the world that wants to, you know what I'm saying? They want to grow, right? And I believe in growing, but I also believe in growing together. I always say, my whole phrase is, I don't want to be the only millionaire I know that I can be able to call, right? Because if that's the case, then I didn't do myself a good service around the community I'm involved in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I feel that for real, man. And you know what? I don't see this that often, to your point, man, because we've been rocking for 30 years, man. We got people like Dr. Poole that been rocking with us at the same time, man. Like, so many people, man. We got, speaking of, hey, your ears must have been burning, Dr. Poole. He just jumped on Instagram, man. We showing love to everybody that's been down with us, man. It's our 1 year anniversary, Technically Speaking. And Corey was just talking about just having good people to come up with, man. And I'm gonna tell you what, man, our cohort that came from Gardena, like, I don't really see too many, like, the younger generations, like, sticking together like that, man, because we've been rocking, man. It's a bunch of us. Sorry, I'm naming names, man. Yeah. Ryan, Janair, man, Anthony, Fredo, like, hey, shout out to the whole Gardena squad, man. Like, Michelle, Malik, like, everybody, man. Who am I missing? Also.
Anthony, Playboy Anthony, Wesley.
You
know what I'm saying? R.I.P. Rob Harper. Man.
R.I.P. man. R.I.P. Yeah, man.
My boy Will, you know what I'm saying? Another brother from the Sensational Six. Will Entice. That's my bro. You know what I'm saying?
Sean, she's out here in San Antonio. Have to catch this. Like, dude, we all still rock together, man. It's been 30.
Randy Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, me and Brandy gonna get on this show one day. I was talking to her on social media, and she was like, telling me she's a life coach. I was like,
oh, nice.
We need some of that on our show.
Yeah, that's what's. Hey, man, what's this? The girl, the chef, man. I can't think of her name. You know what I'm talking about. The chef. We voted for her stuff. She was doing her thing. Like, I can see her face. I can't think of her name right now, man. I can't think of. The twins. Everybody know the twins.
Yeah. Man, the chef, I know who you're talking about. It just drew away. When they come back, I'll remember. I'll make sure we bring memory to. But You know what I'm saying? This isn't a test to see good people, bro.
Yeah,
Good
man.
people,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, even like I remember Dr. Poole, right? Like I remember when we were in high school and we were pledging, I thought he was a butthole, bro. I promise you. But see, that's the thing about it is, once I got to know him, I was like, man, this brother's just like me. And I believe everybody around us has similarities, you know what I'm saying, of each other. You know, not to mention, even though when I tell people I pledged the high school fraternity, they was like, that ain't no real fraternity. Like, it may not be to you, but we were a brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? Man. And we learned skill sets. We learned things that you wouldn't learn from a normal peer environment, because we had brothers there that was older than us. We had brothers there that was younger than us. But the fact is, it was like you were learning things, and then when life was lifing, like I remember when my step pops passed, right? Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? Like Jose, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jose. Jose was like,
shout out to Jose.
You know what I'm saying? And he like, and mind you, I had already crossed, you know what I'm saying? And Fredo and everybody, it just took an embracing, you know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that was a pivotal moment in my time, you know, in my life. I was 17. I was 16 turning 17 that year. And I'll never forget, you know what I'm saying? The bros just embraced me, and it was there. Darian, you know what I'm saying? Big brother Cool Breeze.
Darian, hey.
You know what I'm saying? And some of them, like, you know, even from the lines that wasn't at Gardena, like Bunny, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to D-Beck, you know what I'm saying? Bros just, you know, being there and even connecting with outside of the normal friends from high school, you know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful thing.
It was. You know what? Speaking of which, from the Compton side of things, Robert White. Hey man, you see this on YouTube because he's here too. He's at the Army base at Fort Sam Houston. That boy done made Sergeant Major, man. He doing big things, man. Hey, I'm gonna catch you though. I've been trying to link up with him, but as a Sergeant Major, that boy busy, man. So man.
Hey, shout out to I gotta give a shout out to one of the bros, Smooches. Jermaine Moore, aka Smooches. Boy, I'll never forget him because of the fact that, you know what I'm saying, like after we crossed, right? Because he wasn't at our school after we crossed. I think he had already graduated from high school from the time, but he was there.
So. Hey, shout out to Danny, man. She just jumped in on IG and said hello. Well, hello to you, Danny. Hey, real quick, Danny. We celebrating our 1 year anniversary. You've been a part of that.
Yeah, Franco filing. Franco file.
Hey, for you, Franco file you.
Yeah. Franco file.
Hey, man, she made me nervous when we were talking about Franco file, man. I just didn't want to. I was nervous about just any word with file in it. Like,
unless it was a PDF file. I wasn't bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey man, as we celebrate this 1 year episode, what's one of your most memorable moments in any one of our shows?
Okay, who did we have on the guest? And they were saying they were cursing. I think Donald dropped the N-word on his first time on the show.
He sure did. We were like, whoa.
We were like, no. That was hilarious.
Like, so much for the views, you know?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Dude. And go ahead. It's some of the other stuff too, right? What was one of your favorite episodes that we had?
You know, one of my favorite episodes we had, man, Franco Phil. It's pronounced Franco Phil. Okay, I think I'm saying that right. She corrected us on the IG. My most memorable one actually was our most fun to me. We did an episode when we talked about the top 21 one-hit wonders.
I think he's gonna say it. Hold on one second. This Dez calling. I think he needs some help getting in.
He needs some help getting in.
Hey, Dez, you coming in?
Yeah, I'm asking. Can you resend me the link to get it?
Yeah. We'll send it to you right now.
We live, baby. We live. So while he's working on that, so we did this episode. We had a lot of fun. Like, we actually had a lot of people rocking on. I know for sure IG and YouTube, man. It took us back through memory lane. And it put us in YouTube jail. We got 2 copyright flags, 21 tracks. We only had 2 songs that someone complained about. One of them, I couldn't even read it because it was a German. One of the artists was German and everything was in German. Right. What's that when you protested or whatever? What's that called?
What is it called?
I forget the verb. Like, you challenge it. You challenge it, right? Because we should have been covered under the what is it when you do when you commentate? Because we were commentating on it.
Right.
But they wouldn't accept it, and Corey stopped me because I was gonna challenge it again. But if you challenge it so many times and you lose, you lose your channel. So it was fun, but it was painful because, dude, our views dropped.
Bro, we was like, there was like, if YouTube was gonna push us, they was like, not today. They'd have been like, psych.
And then it got flagged on YouTube, not YouTube. It got flagged on Facebook. But it was so much fun, man. But
I know, bro. It's like, I mean, sometimes it's like that memory, though, man. You can never forget it.
Yeah, man.
Never forget it. I'm pulling up the link for the. It's on the whatchamacallit, right? It's on the agenda, right?
Which one? No, I didn't put it on the agenda this time. Hey, man. Hey, life was lifing. I didn't have everything set up the way I normally do.
No worries.
You should just get it straight from the invite.
I'm about to do it right now. Amen.
Hey, shout out to Sarah. If you catch this, man, she was our first guest on the show.
Yes, she was, man.
Talking about the nexus point between AI and mental health. You know what I mean? I want to say we was like one of the first to start talking about AI, like real talk, man. We was talking about it before it was popping.
Yeah, we talked about AI, bro, and a lot of stuff that I said was gonna happen.
It happened.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
We was like the Simpsons. We was like the Simpsons show. For real.
What show was, man?
I was like, and prime example for those who don't know what we're talking about. I was the one who said that the winner of the election would be the people who the president elect or the president candidate that backed TikTok. And
I
sure
didn't
enough,
believe it. I didn't believe it.
You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump is here, and he backed TikTok. But the crazy thing about it is, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of those moments that was happening, bro. Like, I just felt like this is our platform. We go ahead and tell people what we see, right?
Yeah.
Is Desmond there? I heard a beat.
I did hear the beat. Let me double check.
Let me see.
I think he's there. There.
Cool. I was just about to send him an email.
Yeah, man. I think I'm right in here.
There he is.
Hey, there you go.
Hey.
What up, people? What's up, man? How you feel?
What's going on, man?
Everything is far too much, if you must ask.
Oh man. That's not bad. You know what I'm saying? Momentum and motion equals more motion.
More motion, man. If we doing that, man. Thank you. This is awesome.
Right. So, thank you for joining, Desmond. You know, so we were just me and my buddy Geronimo. As I told you, me and Geronimo go back all the way since high school.
Wow.
And
freshman English.
Yes, freshman English. I would let him. And he knows because my memory was wiped after. I was like the Men in Black after 1990. Exactly. I don't remember nothing.
Well, Desmond, he's being humble, right? Because he actually reminded me of our English teacher's name in the previous episode. We're talking about, our first year because this month is our year anniversary of the show, sir. So
wow. First of all, congratulations, man.
Thank you. Hey.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yep.
So it was a previous episode when he named her. I only remember Miss Thurman because you at one point had said her name. So he must have forgot since then. It was probably about 20 episodes ago you brought that up. But
20 episodes. That's half a year, bro.
Right,
Almost.
half a year, man. So I'm gonna share something that she taught us in class that'll be a good transition to introducing you in, Coach. So I never forget. I forget what the lesson was, but she said this quote that the best revenge is success.
Big time.
Oh yeah.
Best revenge is success, dude, and that's been imprinted in my brain since the 9th grade, man. And I say that to say because we have a special guest, and I got to turn it over to Corey to introduce you so people can see where that connection is at. So I turn it over to you, sir.
Right on. So it's your main man with the game plan, Corey Giovanni, and I'm introducing one of the best business growth coaches out there. I've been rocking with him for 4.5 years. I've done seen success. I done seen coaching in every area of my life, whether it's music, whether it's podcasting, social media. This man has coached me to be able to get results, and not just any results that matter. And in the meantime, in between time, this brother man is faithful to his clients, his base. I present to you none other than this brother, Coach Desmond.
Well, yes, you are, man. Thank you so much, man. What an amazing introduction, and thank you for your kindness. I appreciate it. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. Well, dude, like I said again, I'm beyond proud of Corey. Matter of fact, I've got a chance to go ahead and see his business grow since he got a chance to make that leap. And I'm even more proud in terms of seeing just recently, matter of fact, the vertical leap that he's been seeing in his business as he got a chance to go ahead and find his own way. So again, much love, brother. Well done. Thank you.
So let me go ahead and just stab a little bit. All right.
Okay. All right. Very violent program.
When you stab, you get blood. That means you know you were live. So we got Desmond. Desmond is a business growth coach. When you hear businesses, there's big business, small business, your business, my business, and everyone that technically speaking is an entrepreneur and a business owner. So Desmond, tell us about you and your business growth coach. Give us some history and then tell us what you're doing now.
Well, again, just matter of fact, first of all, I love that I am what they call a business growth coach. And over the last 5 years, I've had the privilege of working, matter of fact, coaching over 1,500 professionals in the last 5 years. And it's interesting enough, what I've been able to go ahead and fall into and really discover in terms of my superpower has been my ability to go ahead and coach, listen carefully, introverted perfectionists.
Introverted
perfectionists and all stuff. And as a matter of fact, and this is interesting because this is a huge group of individuals, that don't even know that they're really introverts and all stuff, and also B, are oftentimes very confused because they don't understand introverts sell completely different than extroverts. They lead differently than extroverts. They manage different than extroverts. And one of the biggest areas of confusion that's happening right now is that so many of them don't know that they have very unique giftings and capabilities. So when they don't have an understanding of who they are authentically, then they're trying to go ahead and be what they are not. And here comes the confusion. We see it in sales. We're seeing it in matter of fact management. We're seeing in leadership. And again, my job is to go ahead and number one, get them to understand who they are authentically, and then line them up with how they sell, line them up with how they lead, line up to how they manage. And when that happens, they not only start seeing results, but they're now doing it to where they finally feel authentic and real.
Now gotta drop bomb on that.
You got to. So, in other words, they selling like themselves.
And also, that's the number one complaint I get all the time is, Des, I got a business, I got an idea, I want to sell, man, but I don't want to sound fake, phony, or salesy. on that. And also, this is the number one complaint that I get from individuals, very talented and entrepreneurs going on here as well. Amazing ideas. They got more degrees than a thermometer, but they can't get it. They can't get past. They can't be able to go ahead and actually exchange and get $1 for their services. Why? Because they find themselves, and here's a term you hear quite often, getting in their own way, because they think they need to sell in a way that makes them look like a used car, you look and sound like an inauthentic used car salesperson. And that image is seared into the mind of people when it comes to sales. So my job is to let them know that, hey, you are released. You are released from that. And also the devil be gone. Yes. And also you are released from that. And now there is an identity that's in that now to where you can now, matter of fact, be able to show up and sound just like yourself. And here's the best part is, and also be effective at doing that. And again, it's something that I'm proud to do each and every day.
That's what's up. So I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You're talking about being authentic and being yourself in business. Why is that important?
Okay, this is huge. And also, every business problem starts off as a personal problem.
Ooh, good point.
Most business problems are personal problems in disguise.
Ooh,
Okay, let that one sit. And also, because if you're thinking, if you're having integrity issues in keeping your word to yourself and to others, how are you going to go ahead and follow through on that agreement that you just made? Is it the economy is the reason why you didn't show up on time? Is it the economy that the reason why you're failing to go ahead and simply follow through, even though you got the customer? Why aren't, matter of fact, why aren't you checking on them after you got them?
Right.
Those are oftentimes personal problems.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, oftentimes what I find that I'm doing quite often with people is helping them answer this big question. I know what I can do. I know what I should be doing. I just don't know why I'm not doing it. So when we answer that question, it turns out the root of that is oftentimes their personality, what's going on here. And once that becomes fixed, then the actual business issues almost naturally become fixed as well.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So if you're just your own interpersonality is more of kind of sleazy, for lack of a better way of putting it, then when you're trying to sell your services, it's gonna come off as that sleazy.
You can't help it. Right. Yeah. It is. If you're an inauthentic individual, if you're a person who basically used to traffic and fake it till you make it and all stuff as well, I got the gift of gab. Don't worry, they won't know. Trust me, they know.
Yeah,
they know. They see it.
I'm laughing because I started my sales journey like that. That used to be that was the thing, That
was the thing. And also fake it till you make it. And listen, I know why it came up. It was a great way of getting started to get people in it. But when you had folks like me who made it a policy to where we basically stopped trying to be authentic, and all we had to do, because we thought that all we needed to do was to sell the image of a thing to get in the door, and that was fine. But here was the problem with that. And this is a term we've been hearing a lot lately: imposter syndrome. When a person is basically trafficking in the inauthentic nature of fake it till you make it going on here, and they don't spend time being authentic, being real, being substantive behind what they're doing, faking it like a matter of fact, sounding like a preacher, but not doing the theological work behind the word.
Right.
Now they end up injuring individuals going on here as well. A person who basically said, oh yeah, I'm a website designer, I'm a music producer, and they're using all the terminology and they're looking like all the things, and then you get them in the studio and they don't know A from bull from.
Yeah. I know. You know a couple people like that. We call them Diddy.
What you say?
I think we call them Diddies.
Oh my
goodness. Too soon. Too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah. Too soon.
But is it too soon though? Is it really though?
Real. But you made a good point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because of the fact that the fake it till you make it can only last so long.
It can. Right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jay-Z got a phrase, and I use it all the time. You are who you are, player. You are who you were before you got here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you come into anything and you acting like you're different or you're acting or trying to be something you're not, when the pedal hits the metal, when the pressure hits the pipes, you're gonna end up folding and being who you are, and then people gonna be like, oh, that's not who you are. Because there's a phrase that I like to say, my resume lets you know about me, but you never get the real story. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. And and to say this, it's like people can fake it so long, but after a while, it's, you know what I'm saying, you become like, see,
well, like I said, what you're talking about is you become exposed. Everybody's going to have their moment, and here's what's happening: when you're not prepared, you'll be exposed. When you are prepared, you'll be revealed.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Okay. That is nice, because I often don't like the word exposed because it has a negative term.
As well it should, and this is the reason. Listen, I've been exposed. I wasn't a celebrity, so no, but I know what that feels like to be exposed. I almost said, back in the day when I was a young author and I was just basically now a lot of my bravado and I was very articulate, sharing different principles. But honestly and truthfully, I had to go ahead and get a revelation. I'm not really living these principles. And I would actually go into some speaking events and I would literally have a reoccurring dream of one day someone was going to go ahead and be in the back of the room, hold up a big old card and say, fraud. Oh, you're a fraud. And that scared me enough for me to go ahead and stop what I was doing, go get a job, and most of all, to go get real.
Yeah. Go get real. I like that.
To go get real. Let's define that for your listeners, what we mean. Become authentic in the thing that you want to be. If you want to be a producer, take the time to learn the disciplines to go ahead and understand that. Put the time in the studio, work in the candy store before you try to owning it. On that, learn all aspects of it so that when remember, like I said, this, and again, as entrepreneurs coming up, this is so very important. I know it's popular to be an entrepreneur right now and also everyone's talking about, et cetera, et cetera. The culture is really behind that. But the reality is the fact that, when you move all the glitz and glam, the law of the jungle applies in that fact for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. I cannot control when I'm going to be successful. And in fact, the biggest piece of advice that I give, and I got this from one of my online mentors, was to, when you start a business, partner, listen, let me just ask you to do this one thing. Put your head down for 7 years and don't even look up for your flowers until after 7 years.
Ooh.
And here's the reason. Here's the data behind this. When I went on Google, you don't have to go far, go on Google. Matter of fact, the average individual, before they start making money of significance and consistently now finding both ownership and understanding their craft and consistently understanding their customer to the point of consistently being able to go ahead and make money, just begins at the 5-year mark. It's taking on average between 7 to 10 years for an organization to really find their groove. Forbes magazine doesn't even consider a business an overnight success and until they've actually been in business for at least 10 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And you hear that all the time whenever anyone is very highly successful is interviewed, and they will always address that, like, oh man, people think that it was overnight. That was a long night.
That was a long night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I just wish more individuals would have that, because this is where the anxiety is coming in, because they see somebody's social media feed. Like, for example, you got a lot of these influencers want to go ahead and sell their program. I'm not knocking anybody's grind. Please, God bless you. But when you pull back the onion, and also their fast track 6-week course to get you all the views you need on YouTube or to go ahead and flip that house, it took them almost 10 years to learn all the principles shared in that thing. Yeah. And the reality is that when we talk about the law of the jungle called entrepreneurism, the law of the jungle in regards to just simply grind is the fact that there are no shortcuts in this law of the jungle. I love what one person said. I can want a baby real bad. I can get 9 women pregnant, but rest assured, it's going to take 9 months for that baby to get here, no matter how bad I want the baby.
That's facts.
That's facts. I appreciate the fact you say that, right? Because there's so many people that just they want that overnight success overnight, right? And it's like, we need what you just said, just yelled from the mountaintops, right? Because I am seeing what you're talking about. No one wants to work, but they think they want to be an entrepreneur. Like, what do you have to say about that?
It's like I said, I don't really have to say anything about it because they get exposed.
Yeah,
good point.
There are so many cats that I started off when I started coaching on that as well, and I'm right now the last of the Mohicans when I start looking at that and also. The X factor is always work. I'm not calling them lazy. Life be life and things be happening and all stuff. The point of the matter is the X factor is always work. I love what Gary B. If you ever watched him on YouTube or whatever, and also with Gary.
I got
his
signs. Those are his signs from his company.
Oh, matter of fact, like I said, absolutely amazing. What I love about him is the fact that he gives a ton of free content. In fact, ideas, literally industry-changing ideas online every single day. And he was once asked by somebody saying, aren't you worried that somebody's going to steal your ideas? He says, no. Why? Because every idea I have not only will work, but they will only work if you basically put in the work. And that's the reason why he's never scared about anybody taking his ideas, because it's going to go ahead and take in the work. Now, everyone knows that in principle, but what's really keeping us from putting in the work? And the main thing is, and the real issue here is the fact that this is not in line with who we are authentically. We're coming back to this whole situation. And matter of fact, and here's the big question that I would encourage your listeners to go ahead and do. They're asking themselves, what should I be getting into? How will I know?
Good question.
Well, here's the answer to that question on that. What gives you more energy than it takes?
Ooh. What gives you more energy than it takes?
This is huge.
Yeah. This
is huge. This podcast you guys created. Corey producing and doing all that stuff takes what? Energy.
It sure does.
Geronimo, what you're doing, a matter of fact, what you do takes energy. Add that on now kids, add that on husband, add that involved in ministry, add that, all those things have one thing in common. It all takes energy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when people are looking into, I want to get into that. Hold on a second. Slow your roll. Here's a question also. Does that thing give you more energy than it takes? If the answer is it's taking more energy than it gives, then you need to go ahead and basically now pull up and now find another spot.
Right.
Yeah. Good point. You know what? And I wanna internalize that, right? Because I was telling Corey before we got started, I was tired, brother. I was tired. I worked a full job. I have a couple of different ventures, right? To where I got to get up in the morning. I'm up at 5. I work on some of the ventures to get my yoga do a full day. Dude, I was coming in talking to one of my friends, and he was like, "Dude, you need to get you an energy drink before you start your show." And I'm like, "Man, I might need to." But the moment Corey popped on, I got that. I got refreshed. I even told Corey, I told you, right? I just got my second win. I'm ready now. So I get that point, man.
That's one of the biggest indicators that people don't recognize when trying to figure out what they should be getting. And in fact, I believe it is so tough that I tell people, like, you need to go ahead and make sure that you're determining, matter of fact, and you need to do it in 3 areas: people, places, and things. Look at your people. Look at the people who give you more energy than they take. Look at the things that you're doing. Start doing a total reevaluation. Matter of fact, where are the places I'm going that takes more energy than it gives?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you're tolerating really subpar service that maybe used to serve you but no longer does. Matter of fact, that could be a church, that could be a job. That job that you went to and all stuff was at first something that you enjoyed going on here, but you're you're barely even there.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is what I sincerely believe. I believe in many cases, matter of fact, we would not have any unemployment if people were to go ahead and have the courage to simply matter of fact, get up and start moving towards purpose, because they're actually taking they're taking up somebody's space. You're taking up somebody's spot who actually has a purpose for your job. You've lost it, but you're actually taking up their spot. If you were able to be self-aware, you'll be able to go ahead and get up and move on, so that person can go ahead and enter into purpose.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny you say that, man, because I can give a real world example for everything you're saying, man. I just recently moved positions, man. I was working in the cybersecurity position and was given an opportunity to get back on the sales team. I don't really like cybersecurity. Pays well, but I was taking up someone's spot. I was able to move back to the sales team, but that actually gave someone else an opportunity to be promoted. Well, he has in a better situation for his family now, and he's able to get growth, and he loves that type of job, right? So I'm just, as you're saying it, I'm like, ooh, okay, give me more, please, sir.
Yeah. Well, listen, you know, at this season of the day, and also what we're really getting into, I'm just going to sound corny, so I apologize.
Hey, okay, we're real here.
I apologize, and also, sir. my job with people like Corey and my clients is to get them closer to happiness.
Yeah.
I like it. And also I'm trying to map back, and I use happiness as a business term. Okay. When a person is operating in happiness, they release two key side effects: energy and enthusiasm. Those are the building blocks of entrepreneurism. Because remember when I talked about put your head down for 7 years, don't even look up for your flowers. What do you think it's feeding you in those 7 years? Matter of fact, it better be that thing that's giving you more energy than it takes, because that's now feeding the energy and enthusiasm to do what? Go on. Perfect your craft. Endure on that. And also, matter of fact, practice your craft. So when your time comes, you won't be exposed, you'll be revealed.
I like that. You know what I like about that? It's almost like the photo room, right? Remember back in the day when you had to take a picture, so people get an image of what you are, but they don't get to see the development part in the photo room. Sometimes back in the day when we had those portable cameras where you take a picture and then you go send it off, and then the Kodak shop will put it inside the red room because you have to be in the dark so it can get the proper exposure so the picture will be able to come out. When you get those pictures, you get the best image possible, and that's the revealing. So you got to go through the dark, because the dark is where you're going to get you're going to get processed. You're going to get the proper exposure, not the proper exposure, but the proper development. So that way, when you come out to the light, you got the proper exposure.
I like
you know, this is so important. One another things is, so I mentioned in terms of what gives you more energy than it takes. Part of that is this. One of the ways you know that you're in your jam, when you love the process more than the outcome.
I love it. Hey, you know, I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's so good. I don't like taking notes, but I'm taking notes. Really good stuff, man.
I feel honored. I feel honored. But you know, I wanted to make sure that I'm giving your listeners, in fact, you know, when I'm basically coaching, and in fact, you know, so Corey, if you want to, and also Geronimo, if you want to, for all your listeners, I'll provide them all a complimentary one-on-one coaching session. Going on here as well, and also they'll get a complimentary 45-minute coaching session. Just simply have them go to, matter of fact, Corey put it in at CoachDesmond.com, and they can go ahead and now be able to go ahead and click on that and get a complimentary one-on-one coaching. Because a lot of the people that I'm working with right now, they're knowledgeable, they're smart, and also, but I love what Tony Robbins says. We are in a society that is literally drowning in knowledge, but starving for wisdom.
Okay.
And what
for us, sir?
Well, exactly. So, for example, you know, right now, because we got YouTube University and every talking head out there, everybody knows a little about a lot of stuff. This is where the term comes from in regards to know enough to be dangerous. Well, they know very little and they're very dangerous going on here. So we know a lot about, matter of fact, we know a lot about a lot of things, little about a lot of things. We understand what wisdom is the wise application of knowledge.
Yes, it is.
That's what wisdom by definition is. Wise application of knowledge. So people have misinterpreted. I just need to know a lot of stuff. Hold on a second. Have you been able to apply it?
Exactly.
That's where the power comes from. So when they start working with people like myself, going on here as well, and also our other coaches, this is where they're able to go, okay, I got all these things in my head. How do I put it all together? And this is where people are saying they want clarity.
Clarity.
This is where the clarity, I believe clarity comes when that knowledge now turns into wisdom.
Yeah.
I know not only do I know the what, now I know the why.
Yeah.
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 I want clarity. I need strategy and I need accountability. And that's what I'm doing with a lot of the professionals that I'm working with. Many of them are individuals who are now entrepreneurs for the very first time. Maybe they led an organization for 20, 25 years. Now they're saying it's my time to shine. But now when they start getting into entrepreneurism, I don't care where you've been in your work world. When you get to entrepreneurism at the first time, you went back to first grade. No, forget first grade. Kindergarten. Yeah. Kindergarten. No, forget preschool. And also, we're starting from the very beginning, and that's a total mind shift that a lot of people can't handle.
No.
Very humbling. Very humbling.
Yeah.
It's how does someone develop the type of resilience it takes to handle that? Because it is not for the faint of heart, man.
That's what happens in those 7 years when you're putting down your head and you're not looking up for your flowers. That's where the development that's coming in here. A lot of people are saying, I know how to do X. And then it turns out, I was totally surprised when I found this out when I first started my entrepreneurial journey. I've called it's probably called something else, but this is what I call it: low sales self-esteem.
Low sales self-esteem.
This is where you basically have an amazing product or service and you feel almost guilty charging anybody for it or charging the proper price for it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And the reality is the fact that because before you were working for representing the organization, representing their identity, now when it became your identity, because you think less of yourself.
That you brought it full circle. You brought it full circle because it started with being, what's going on the inside. That makes sense. Yeah, man. So you should not be quick to offer a discount if you really believe in yourself and you believe in your product and you believe in your service.
Well, matter of fact, yeah. But like I said, I want to go ahead and just basically add a little bit of context to that. And also, that's part of the maturing process.
Yeah.
That's inescapable.
Yeah.
Going on here. And also, you're going to, matter of fact, you understanding, oh my gosh, I am good at what I do. And it doesn't matter how many people tell you that. Right. It's something that gets developed while you're in the trenches.
Yeah.
And when you start getting the revelation that I'm actually good at this, all of a sudden now you now say, no, I am charging $1,000. Yes. And there are no discounts.
Right.
But that doesn't come instantly for a lot of people. A lot of folks had to go ahead and get up to that because they had to go ahead and get a revelation that I am the real deal. I am the real McCoy. This is why we said earlier that most business problems are really personal problems in disguise.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
And that's a shock for a lot of people. And these are the things that you're learning when you give yourself, listen, the beauty of this for those who follow this advice is that if they allow themselves to 5 to 7 years, then they will not find themselves falling for the okie doke, for the influencer or the guru who's offering them a slip and slide 10-week course to getting millions within 6 minutes or less.
Right.
Okay. Because what ends up happening is the fact that it's all, listen, here's the haha. They're all great information and they all work. The problem is they all are activated by something called time.
Straight up. Simple.
Simple. No,
there's no way around it, man. You got to.
I'm gonna keep it real because I've been a TikTok seller. Okay, I bought the TikTok device, and then there's like, hey, buy. I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and buy it, and then I put the video up, and I'm like, so I followed the prompt, and I got 1 sale. So I was like, oh, so it's working, right? I got 2 sales. I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, because the guy said, he made X amount of dollars. I think he said $28,000 in sales. So that equated to like $12,000. And I'm like, okay, off of this $5 device, I will try that. Okay. And then after a while, I was like, this ain't happening. 10 days go by, 20 days, a whole month go by, and I'm looking at my earned revenue. I'm like, yeah. So, yeah.
I got a couple of those t-shirts, bro.
Yeah. It was convincing. It was convincing. But then I also had to realize, let me stick to what I know. Because I was just trying to to get. I mean, even though it was honest, it was still trying to be get rich quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is why this is so very, very important. And thank you guys for allowing me the platform to even talk about this, because this is the kind of stuff that I'm preaching all the time. And when as a matter of fact, there are very few exceptions. So Facebook, I think, became an overnight success. That took about 3 years. Google was about 3 years on that. And also, matter of fact, Facebook was about 3 to 5. Those were the exceptions. The rule is 7 to 10.
7 to 10.
7 to 10.
Matter of fact, the rule is 7 to 10. Even Warren Buffett tells individuals one of the Buffett rules: do not even invest in a stock unless you're willing to keep it for 10 years.
Ooh.
What's that tell you? And what's the stock? The stock is a business. So if they're telling you from an investor point of view, you not basically buy that stock unless you're willing to go ahead and stick with that business for 10 years, then what's that going to say about your commitment to your idea?
Ooh.
And here you are pulling up because it's been 6 weeks yet, and no one's and no one's inviting you on financial and CNBC and all stuff because they're asking for all your advice. Come on, man. Come on.
Good point.
Grind in peace.
Grind in peace.
Man. Yes, the 7-year rule is going to allow you to grind in peace.
Yeah.
One of my favorite examples. I'm sorry, man. You got.
Oh, you're good. Go. It's all about you.
Yeah. One of my favorite examples is watching Destiny's Child when they were on the Ed McMahon. Let's talk about how old I am. Okay, Ed McMahon's Star Search.
I remember that.
So, like I said, this predates American Idol. Okay. And Destiny's Child came up there and all stuff. This had to be like, I forget, late 80s, mid to late 80s or early 90s, I forget. And all stuff. And I'm watching them and they lost.
Yeah. I remember
now, up until that point in time, they were probably in the game, whatever, maybe about 2 or 3 years doing county fairs in Texas and blah, blah, blah. And here they're doing this. Now fast forward and all stuff. She's a billionaire right now. But when you look at Beyonce, what was that?
Beyonce.
Matter of fact, she actually affects global economies. But how did she get to that level of power? 30 years, bruh.
Yeah. Good point.
Matter of fact, this chick has been in the game for 30 years.
Since we were freshmen in high school.
Yeah. I remember, no.
When it's really yes.
Well, that's enough because we ain't trying to get a strike.
No more strikes.
YouTube is YouTube.
Yeah.
So I got a question about that 7 to 10 year rule.
Yeah.
How does that align with the 10,000 an hour rule?
Like I said, I'm as far as the hours are concerned, I'm just going to use. Matter of fact, just go ahead and just basically share my opinion. What does 10,000 hours equates to, guys? How much time is that in terms of days? Let me pull that up because somebody pulled it up on the calculator. I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah, I'm about to
because whatever that time is, it's still not enough.
I think the last time I checked, I want to say it equaled about around 10 years, honestly.
Well, see, 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
Well, no, I haven't did the equation yet. But when you say 10,000 hours, that means you become a pro at that industry. That's not mastery level.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. I'm just trying to see if there's any correlation.
Yeah. So, matter of fact, that's about 416 days going on here. Now, I'm glad, Corey, thank you for bringing it up because that's important and all stuff. So what's happening is the fact that 10,000 hours allows you to go ahead and get a certain level of competence in a thing, which is very important right now. Because remember what we said earlier, we got a lot of people knowing a little bit about a lot of things. Zero mastery.
Yeah.
And because of their lack of mastery going on here regarding that thing, because mastery isn't just knowing the knowledge, it's the understanding that comes along with it.
Yeah. Good
the
point.
Understanding provides the nuances that you can't write. It's the stuff that you only learn while you were in the midst of it.
Yeah. So
going
you
on
got to
here.
get that school of hard knocks training, man.
Huge, so huge. And that's when we talk about in terms of that wisdom, applied knowledge. There are things that happens when, in fact, when you talk to a cancer survivor, they're sharing things about what stuff smells like, what it feels like going on here that only another cancer survivor would know. These are the stripes that people are getting. This is the understanding that's happening. Resulting in this stuff. And matter of fact, and this is the kind of stuff that people need. This is the kind of stuff that people need in this day and age. We got too many talking heads giving this tip and that tip going on here as well. But we got people who are saying, I'm starving. I need the wisdom. One of my biggest pet peeves is when I talk to older people, and let's say, for example, you're a younger couple and you're having financial or matter of fact, marriage issues, and you're coming to so-and-so who's been married for 43 years. And all of a sudden, okay, auntie, okay, uncle, okay, let's go ahead and hear that wisdom. And then you end up you're sitting down there ready with your notes, take them out and all say, hey, and then all of a sudden they come back, well, all you got to do is, baby, just keep on laughing and just keep on praying, baby.
Yeah. Nah.
And I'm the guy saying, hold on a second. If I keep on laughing, okay. In fact, what joke were you telling? And was that ha-ha funny or was that he-he funny?
Ooh.
See, I'm looking for the we need to be those individuals who can provide that level of understanding. What's the Bible say? Get knowledge, but in all you're getting, get what?
Get an understanding.
Understanding. In this season right now, we got too many talking heads who are basically getting the stuff they're getting from ChatGPT, but they have no real understanding.
Yeah. ChatGPT, my best friend.
Say what?
ChatGPT, my best friend.
Listen, matter of fact, I love it too. But again, when you got people right now who are in the business of talking to individuals, speaking into their lives, you better have a little more than ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to have to have ChatGPT, Bible, and a whole lot of KOWLEBG.
This is powerful stuff that needs to be heard, man, because it's just kind of my observation. I've been seeing just the lack of just drive, man. Like, but what I've been seeing, and damn it, I hate to sound like one of them older folks, right? It's like an epidemic in the younger generations, man. They want the flowers, but I don't see that will to put that effort in to hunker down for like 7 years, but they want the flowers right now, man. What's your advice for that, especially for those of us raising kids that are in those teenage years? What can you offer for stuff like that?
If you can be a mentor and a parent, do the best you can to go ahead and remove your kids from simply solely looking at those as a source. First of all, you can't stop it, so don't try to. I want to take your iPad and forget. It's the air. Okay. Yeah. So, but in this situation and also, I'll just use a perfect example. My son, I think he was. I want to say, I forget what age he was. I want to say 9 or 10, and he was asking us for like over $200 for some type of concert tickets, or I think it was 12 or 13 on sub. And I said, no, but you can earn it. Yeah. And that's not where the conversation ended. Then we started saying, let me give you some ideas on how to do that. Yeah. So in fact, one of the ideas that he decided, because he wanted to go ahead and get these, I think it was a Kendrick Lamar when he was coming out, he wanted tickets to go to the forum, and also to go ahead and watch him. And it was going to be over $200+. And I said, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and earn them. So he got into the chip and snacks business.
Okay. So we know something about that.
Yeah, we did.
We know the Smart and Final. Loaded them up. I said, what type of stuff that you guys like to eat? And also the Takis and whatnot and all stuff. And he basically now went to school every day with his supply and was basically just slanging some Takis.
Yep.
He got a chance to see for himself Matter of fact, to actually go ahead and do something. One of the pieces of advice that I heard recently that I thoroughly do agree with is the fact that oftentimes we're shielding our kids or we want to go ahead and ensure that they're going to have absolute success in everything, where in fact, give them a process to go ahead and follow. Show them that you can trust them to go ahead and do that and see what happens. Well, we saw what happened. He earned enough money on his own.
Man.
I'm telling you.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah. And me and Geronimo know, you know what I'm saying? We used to do this. We had the candy bags in high school.
Yep.
Hey, man, like I say, everybody had their hustle going on here, and it's when you start seeing that you can do something. I think Myron, Myron Golden, another online person that I like to go ahead and follow. Yeah, he calls it, I think he calls it aid. He says, number one, and also when you become aware that something can be done, put your kids around individuals who are doers.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, who are doing the doggone thing. Yeah. Not the people who are the talkers about what they're going to do, but the actual doers.
I like that.
And also, then when you make a person aware, then they become intentional.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna start becoming I'm gonna start following and doing what they do, and then after they become intentional, then they start making a decision. Okay. And all stuff. So this is matter of fact. So this is the kind of thing that we need to go ahead and start doing for our kids, but most of all, not just our kids, for ourselves.
Yeah.
Ourselves. You know, for a lot of us, the only thing we really need is just to go ahead and see that somebody can do it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay. You're making 10 grand right now per month, and you're thinking, fresh to death, boy, I've made it. Until you spoke to somebody who's now making 40.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
Like, yeah. Like, how do that?
Hey, how do that?
And you know what's funny? You mentioned Myron Golden. I listen to him every day when I'm on the treadmill. Man, there's something he said to what I listened to today, which made it click. Like, it clicked more different than it did before. He said you can either make a choice or make a decision, because a decision is when you cut off something. So if you make a decision that I'm going to make $100 million this year, you cut off the option of anything else. You don't settle for because a choice you can bounce left and right, but a decision, there's a separation. The word decision means a cut.
Ooh.
So you decide to cut that part out of anything less, and you go down and grind and hustle.
Ain't no going back.
This is, matter of fact, Corey, you're so spot on, because part of the clarity that sometimes I find I do in others, and actually doing for myself, I'm on my weight loss journey right now myself, and I had to go ahead and get real. Matter of fact, get real. Hold on a second. I've been making choices, but I haven't been making decisions.
Yeah.
And also, matter of fact, now I got to make a decision. There are just simply some foods we don't eat anymore.
We don't eat anymore.
If we're serious about being in this group, of individuals and all stuff. So there are decisions that are being made, and also the fact that I need to go ahead and start doing as far as that's concerned, and we're now making them. They're not choices going on here, but I also need to go ahead and identify with those things as far as concerned. I am a healthy person, so therefore I do the things that healthy people do.
Yeah.
Going on here, and I'm making a decision to do what healthy people do and eat, and et cetera, et cetera. And the same goes with our finances. You're doing well with $20,000. First of all, God bless you. That's a lot of money. Do not poo-poo that at all. But again, the whole purpose of me sharing what I was sharing is that oftentimes sometimes all you need to go ahead and know is that someone else is able to do that. So that helps to go ahead and raise your level.
Yeah.
It just helps to go ahead and raise your level. This is the reason why it's so very, very important for us to basically, matter of fact, forget about if your kids get to college or not. Be the example.
Yeah.
Show them show them how high is high. And if you're not the person there, put them in the room so that they can go ahead and see how high is high. If I was to go back into the schools, and in fact, I think I'm going to be doing this as part of what I'll be doing down the road. I'm going to go ahead and load up classrooms, and I'm going to load up an entire list of all the professions that are making, matter of fact, $150,000 or more. and all stuff. And guess what? There are far more of those possessions in regards to engineering, HVAC, et cetera, all these amazing things that people can do now. But we got so many young people right now basically just losing their minds trying to go ahead and get for the, matter of fact, the 1% and 3% chance careers. You know, I'm going to be the next Beyonce.
You said that.
I'm going to be the next Beyonce. I'm going to go ahead and be the next LeBron. First of all, wonderful things to do, but there are so many.
Yeah. I'm on board with that. Can you say that again? I need to hear that again. I need everyone to hear that again, man.
Listen, there are so many high percentage careers and things that people can do right now that can go ahead and change the trajectory of their, matter of fact, of their families. And it doesn't include being the next music producer or the biggest athlete right now. And stuff. I got individuals right now. In fact, my son, right after college, was offered a job making over $75,000 right out of college.
Wow.
And that was doing what, sir?
Matter of fact, in sales.
There you go. Boom. You know, I'm glad you said that, man, because I'm just gonna say it, man. Minority children need to hear that, especially black children. I'm gonna put it out there because so many of our young black boys are trying to get into basketball, hip hop stuff. I was guilty of that. I was trying to do the hip hop thing, right? I made way more money doing cybersecurity, right? So, I'm glad you said that, man, because I'm always like, I think Charlemagne the God said it once, man, and excuse my French. He said, F your dreams, because if that's your dream, right, that's something that's very small percentage is very hard to attain. But what you're talking about, it's possible. And you can still make good money if you're still trying to get to that level of, okay, I want to get millionaire status, etc. Invest that money. Or you know what? Maybe get yourself a business coach. You could be a successful business owner. Come on now.
Listen, matter of fact, I know we're almost done, but one of the messages, matter of fact, first of all, along with that is, again, it's very simple. We do what we see.
Yes. Yeah, no, you're right.
So why did we see so many people going that route? It wasn't anything on, we simply did what we saw.
You're right.
But like I said, I'm seeing stories all the time about 3 generations of, matter of fact, African-American doctors on that, and also matter of fact going on here. And so why was the case? Mama was a doctor, auntie was a doctor, uncle was a doctor, etc. We see that they do what they see.
Yeah.
So in fact, as leaders, as leader-like ones, as far as that's concerned, if we don't necessarily have to march on Washington to make a difference. And also, we can just simply basically be that person who is moving forward and do it, matter of fact, and doing what they see. So if you're a plumber and you're making HVAC, these cats right now are making buku dollars. Going on here as well. And a lot of them are doing that as they start in their own businesses, et cetera, and so far. But we need to go ahead and show the variety of that. Cybersecurity, please tell that story going on here as well, because those jobs right now are paying 75 and 80 grand right out the pocket going on here, and they're in bigger demand than ever before.
And that's at the entry level.
That's the entry level.
That's entry level. So man, I'm really glad you said that, and that's good to put that out there. You know, one thing too, I'm thinking, help me out with this one, right? Because you said it, plumbers are making good money. But what I'm putting myself back in my 16, 17-year-old body, right? Trying to empathize with the youngins of today, right? I'm gonna tell you right now, the 17-year-old Geronimo, like, nah, man, I can't get no chicks being no plumber. Like, why am I do that? Right? That ain't gangster, man. Like, how do you help shift that mindset?
I can't get no chicks. Matter of fact, being a plumber. Let me tell you something. About that, and also cash flow would get any woman, anytime, any day. Cash flow.
Cash flow.
Matter of fact, listen to me, Kim. Listen to my eyeballs. Cash is king, but cash flow is the king.
Okay.
Matter of fact, cash is king. Cash flow is the kingdom. There are so many women right now who are coming out of relationships because they went with the bad boy with the short money. I'm loving it. They went with the bad boy with the short money. Okay, doing stuff to get that short money, which wasn't legal, and now he got long-term hurt. And those who decided to hook up with him now basically dealing with long-term hurt themselves.
Okay.
You want to go ahead and look at that cat who has a character to go ahead and stick with something.
Yeah.
Going on here, because you hook up with that brother, you're gonna be eating for a long time.
There you go.
And like you get comfortable when you start realizing that, you know what? I'm making a living.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I often see that people go with the results. Like, you know what I'm saying? We want to say women, they go with the results of what this individual has, not knowing their story, not knowing their history, not knowing their dedication to what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? They just see the glitz and the glam. And let's not just say women, let's say men too. Some men love a powerful woman because they feel like we're the powerful couple.
Man,
but do you know her story? Do you know what she had to go through, what she had to deal with, what she had to come up? All you see is the results.
The results,
of the hustle.
Dude,
you haven't seen the hustle.
Dude, I mean, this is gonna be we need to do a whole nother podcast.
We do.
A whole nother podcast.
Open invite, Coach. Open invite.
Because I'm gonna tell you something right now, and also, but this is very important for people to recognize. This is very important. Okay. As a person who's waited on God, okay, first of all, most men need to hear this. Matter of fact, a woman would either elevate you to your level of excellence or demote you to your level of mediocrity. Okay. And if you do not know your purpose and you do not know who God is, and you're not waiting on God for that person, because here's the situation. We oftentimes get caught up on looking at what's here and right now in front of us, but God knows what you're going to need 20 years from now. So waiting on God and all stuff isn't just in terms of what we need for our hearts. It's also, matter of fact, in terms of what we need for our money.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'll give you a case in point. I know I got to go here and all stuff, but my wife right now, I was the leading, matter of fact, I made the most money. Matter of fact, we helped get into our home. I've been out of our jobs, I made the most. But then in 2019, when I decided to go ahead and take a risk and now start my own coaching business going on here, here's what happened. I had to go ahead and get down to the guttermost. I left my $125,000 a year job going on here, and I went down after my first year making $32,000. Thankfully, she was able to get promoted on another job, and she was able to sustain me and the household as she allowed me to go ahead and pursue what is now turning out to basically be a very lucrative business going on here. But it was because of the type of woman I had. Now, she didn't know. Matter of fact, and we're already 19 years into our marriage at that time. But she didn't know at year one, but God did.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. Hey, shout out to the wife, man.
Man, like I said, matter of fact, shout out to the Holy Ghost. Let me know in terms of who I needed to roll with, because again, we're not going to know. But like I said, brother, that's a whole waiting on God is good. Waiting on God is good. It's good for your wallet.
I like that.
Because like I said, that's going to be the ally that's going to be able to go ahead and be the person who can both finance, support, and also and do everything you need while you're building your kingdom.
Yeah, good point. Right. Since you got on that subject, man, right, to wrap us up, because there was one topic you wanted to talk about, man, and it was about integrity and honesty being sexy again.
Listen, and what a way to end this segment. You know, in this environment right now where you have so many individuals and also who are lying at scale, and we have so many situations where people are being caught, and we talked about this earlier, exposed.
Yep.
They're not being authentically who they are. We don't even have to go to Washington, D.C. We're seeing that in our own communities. You're seeing that in the studio. Okay. You're seeing that in the places where you and I are right now. So it's happening so much at scale to where what's happening, the people who are folks of integrity are shining bright like diamonds.
You're right.
Now, as a result, when you find that one, that matter of fact, when you find that one plumber, that one banker, that one else up, you're holding on to them for dear life. Yeah. And here's the best part is you're referring everybody and their mama to them.
You're 100% true. Yep. That's
That's what I meant. stuff. And when you make a decision to be that person who's like saying, listen, man, I'm not going to sacrifice short-term money for long-term bad reputation.
Yeah.
On here, I'm gonna be that dude, because trust me, matter of fact, when you find that I'm working with a cat right now. His name is Adrian Duncan, Trojan County. I've been rocking with this dude for going on almost over 10 years now. This guy is so honest and also and mostly has got me the biggest refunds, but has taught me the process, et cetera, and has really put my wife and I at ease when we didn't know A from bullfrog. And because of his honesty and his integrity, on that, I have invited, I think almost every one of my family members have been exposed to this individual because of the trust and integrity going on here. And right now in this day and age, if you make a decision to go ahead and be a person who's going to go ahead and basically, matter of fact, buck the gray areas of compromise and be a person who's going to be about, matter of fact, being about the truth, trust me, you're going to shine brighter than anybody else, because again, it's becoming sexy to be honest.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that, man. I appreciate that, man. That applies in so many different areas in my life right now, man. I'll tell you that, man. And that's the team that I'm on. That's our number one thing that we're focusing on is just trust and integrity, man. And that's it.
Listen, your focus needs to be as a business owner, as a mom, as a dad, as a parent, and also find ways to win. Matter of fact, find ways to win the war.
Yeah.
Too many of us are so busy trying to win the battle, but we're losing the war.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is what happens. And this is what happens when we basically get clouded with short-term gains going on here as well. And we see, and I got examples for days. I wish we had more time.
You coming back? You didn't already put it out there, so we're gonna pick you up on that, Coach.
All right. Well, listen, man. Like I said again, this has been absolutely my honor to get a chance to go ahead and share with.
Same, man. Thank you.
Please keep doing what you're doing. We need to have the conversations.
Yeah, you read my mind. Corey. I was about to say, put that link back on there. Hey, man, anyone who's watching this, make sure to go to CoachDesmond.com. Especially if you know for sure you need help dealing with your internal self, man, so that way you can be a better person, so you can run a good business. Hey, man, I got a lot of gold from this, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because I did just recently make a transition back to the sales team, and at this company I'm more of an entrepreneur.
Sure.
But my mental state still has to operate like an entrepreneur, right? Sure. So this, I'm gonna tell you, man, this is very helpful. I'm gonna actually have my sales team watch this episode, not just to get extra views, but
we can use the views.
We can use the views. So, hey, speaking of which, hold on, we didn't do this all episode yet, so I gotta tell people, hey, if y'all appreciate the knowledge and the game that you're getting from Coach Desmond, hey, man, stop. Click the like button, click that subscribe button. Hey, leave a comment, share this to everybody, because he just shared. This is gold, man. This is gold. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you guys as well. All right,
man. That's what's up. Y'all check him out again at CoachDesmond.com. Thanks again. What do you have coming up in the horizon that you want to share?
Matter of fact, May 31st, I'm going to be in Atlanta for the Surge Summit Atlanta.
Okay.
Going on here, we're going to be out there as well. And then, of course, matter of fact, then on May 17th, we're going to be doing something called the Masters Conference right here in Downey, California. On that as well, folks can go to CoachDesmond.com for more information as we get that situated here. So more to come, my friend. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you.
Thank you. Oh yeah, man. You have a good night.
All right, man. Take care, man. God bless you.
Oh yeah, man.
Right.
Oh yeah. Stay blessed. Man, that's whoo-wee.
Yeah, man.
This dude came through and was spitting that hot fire. Hey, man. Man, we definitely got to get him on. I'm not lying. He done charged the battery up, man. I'm like, yo, hey, we needed him. Hey, and hey, everyone, chime in the comments, man. Let us know what was your favorite takeaway from tonight. Y'all make sure y'all go to CoachDesmond.com. And then we got
free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you get a free coaching session with him. A 45-minute. It's not one of those things where they go ahead and he just take your information. He actually tests you. You guys get on a Zoom call, he'll test you and let you know what's the best way of working your situation out. Look, man, I'm telling you, the service he provides are gold.
Yeah, man. It sounds like it. Tell you what a way to celebrate our year anniversary, man. Come on.
With some free stuff.
Y'all should be giving us gifts. We give you gifts, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We giving y'all some game that's gonna change your last name or your area code.
Hey, man, I like changing area codes because that means you moving on up.
Moving on up.
Hey.
Sherman Hensley. Sherman Hensley.
Hey, man. Hey, how did tonight's episode make you feel tonight, Corey?
I feel good. You know, being that me and that Desmond, we've been rocking, like I said, for 4.5 years. You know what I'm saying? So definitely learn a lot from him. You can actually go also check him out on his podcast on youtube.com/Coach Desmond. You will see a couple videos there with me and him because, you know, we do what we do.
And what exactly is that? Tell the folks what they can do, what they can get from you. What do you do, sir?
So I am a podcast producer / media entertainment owner. So in the event, if you have a podcast, want to do a podcast, and you also want to be able to line it out to your social medias, reach out to me. You can find me at Corey Giovanni of any social media platform, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or you can go to coreent.biz. Let me put it down there for you. That way you
come on. So basically, what you're saying is, if someone has something to say, they don't really have the time to get the expertise to run all this stuff that it takes to run a podcast. They can come to you.
They come to me.
That's what's up, man. Hey.
And I give you a DFY solution. That means it's for you.
Hit that brother up, man. He's gonna help you get your voice out there, because you never know, man. You might be the voice someone needs to hear to take that next step, man, to get to the next level, man. So hey, hit that dude up real quick, man. And then for me, I'm on IG, man. I'm not spread out too thin, man. You want to hit me up? I'm on IG at tech_Von_go, because we using this tech to do what we do, man. That's what it's all about. I do have a vacation rental here in San Antonio, so if you're coming out here for any event, Air Force graduation, Army graduation at BAMSI, or any one of the plethora of events, we got plenty of golf courses around here. We just have the Valero Open. Holla at me, man. I'll shoot you a little discount code. Now, I'm not gonna undervalue myself. I believe in myself, right? Like, shout out to Coach Desmond. But I mean, if you take the time to reach out to me through IG, I'll shoot you a little discount code. Hey, that's hey.
You know
man,
what? I got an idea.
What's up?
And since we're on our 1-year anniversary, let's do this.
Popping.
You subscribe to our network, our channel, you'll get a free. You'll get a discount code. Just say technically speaking, and you get a discount code. There you
go. Let's just say technically speaking, you get a discount code. There you go. I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Hey man. Hey, hell of an episode for the night, man. So
yes, sir.
I'm going away feeling good. Get me ready for the rest of the week, man. I'm like, ooh, that was I just want to take the time, man, to thank IG, Facebook, YouTube, man, everyone that's rocked for us, all the guests that's been on our show this last year. We appreciate y'all, man. And you know what? We out for the night. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good week, man. Y'all take care of yourselves. Love y'all. Hey, you know what?
Yeah, you guys do it like that.